right, good morning, guys. Okay, we're going to go back over our W verse again today. All right, W, what time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. Psalm 56:3. Okay, let's say it again. W, what time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. Psalm 56:3. All right, good job, guys. Okay, now let's do our long verse here. Miss Watkins is learning this with you, so let's just do the first little section. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Now you say it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. Now we're going to add, He guides me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Okay, let's do it from the top. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. And remember, we're learning Psalm 23. All right, let's do our books of the Old Testament together. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Joshua, Judges, Ruth. 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Job, Psalms. Oh, I skipped that one. Let's start that from the top. I skipped one. Uh-oh, guys. Okay, let's start it from the top again. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Joshua, Judges, Ruth. 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. Job, Psalms, Proverbs. Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. All right, keep up the practice and I'll keep practicing too. Good job, guys. Okay, let's move into our story today. Today we are going to learn about a special healing that Jesus did. And again, as I always remind you guys, even though we have painted pictures and sometimes you'll see Bible stories as cartoons or in coloring books, I just want you to remember that these are real stories. These are real things that really happened to real people, real women and real men and real children. And so when we talk about the Bible, those are truths. That's history. Those are things that really happened. They happened a long time ago, and eventually they became written down so that you know we aren't alive while Jesus is walking on the earth. But because those stories have been written down, and because they were taught to families, we know them now. Jesus is very much alive, very much real, and these things really happened. And these Bible stories really do show who Jesus is. Since right now we're not able to talk to him face to face, they help us really understand what kind of person Jesus is. Okay, so let me grab my first picture. Okay. All right. We have a picture here of Jesus, and this is a nobleman. That is someone who was wealthy in the community. A community is the place where they lived, so this would be a wealthy man who was well known, and this is Jesus, and let's see what happened. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, as Jesus had finished teaching in the marketplace, of Cana, a well-dressed nobleman in great haste, that means he was in a big hurry, came with his tunic and robe covered with dust. So his clothes were covered in dust. For he had traveled the 15 miles from Capernaum as fast as he could. "Excuse me, please," the nobleman said. "I must speak to you at once. It's an emergency. It's very urgent." Jesus noticed that the nobleman's urgency. That means he was in a hurry about something. "Please come and heal my son," he cried as he knelt down before Jesus. "My son is at the point of death." That means he's about to die. And Jesus said, "Won't any of you believe me unless I do a miracle?" In other words, Jesus says, do you not believe who I am unless I do a miracle for you, unless I do something for you? The nobleman, like many other people, believed in Jesus only as one who could perform the miracles that they needed. In other words, they would come to him when they needed something and expect him to make it better. But that's the only time they believed in him, is if he was doing something for them. But Jesus knew that this was not the kind of faith that they needed. He had not come in the world just to do miracles for people's trouble. He wanted them to trust him as their Messiah and their Savior. Well, he was here to save their soul, not just do miracles for them. The nobleman believed that Jesus could do something if he could only get him to come in time to where his son was, if Jesus would only hurry up. The nobleman knew that his son was tossing and turning on his bed with a high fever, and then any moment it might be too late. But Jesus did not seem to feel any urgency. He didn't seem to be in a big hurry. "Sir," begged the desperate nobleman, "please hurry. Don't waste any time. Come down. My child is dying." Jesus looked at the nobleman with love and compassion and told him, "Go back home. Your son is healed." The nobleman's faith was weak, for he did not yet believe that Jesus could heal his son without actually going to his house and seeing his son. He did not realize that Jesus did not need to travel to Capernaum to heal his son. Maybe it was the way Jesus said it or the look in Jesus' eye, but whatever it was, the nobleman knew that what Jesus had said was true. He believed the word of Jesus and stopped worrying about his son. And joyfully, he started on his way home. And without seeing his son, he knew that his son was well. Jesus had said he was, and so he believed him. As the nobleman hurried along the road toward home, his servants met him, crying out the good news. "Everything's all right. Don't worry. Your son is better." Joyfully, the nobleman asked them, "When did the boy begin to feel better?" And they replied, "Yesterday afternoon. It was about 1 o'clock, and his fever just suddenly disappeared." And then the nobleman realized that this was the same hour that Jesus had told him that your son has been healed. The nobleman raced home with great joy, running out to greet him. And as he neared the house, his little son came running out. What a happy, joyful reunion that was. The little boy was completely well. Now the nobleman believed that Jesus truly was more than just a man who could do wonderful miracles. He believed that Jesus was the promised Messiah, the Son of God, the Savior of the world. The nobleman was saved that day, and he was born into the family of God. So radiant was his testimony that his family, his servants, and his entire household believed in Jesus and was saved also. Okay, so one thing that Jesus wanted people to see was that yes, he could do these miracles, and yes, that did show that that he had the power of God. But he didn't want people to believe in him just because of the miracles that they saw. Not only did he didn't just want them to I just want you around, Jesus, so that you can make things better for me, or you can fix things when they're bad. He wanted people to have a relationship with him. He wanted people to know that he was the Messiah that had been promised to them to come and forgive their sins. Because yes, he could heal that man's son. And that was a really cool thing, that he healed him and his son wasn't sick anymore. But one day, that boy, when he got older, he would still die. But if he had a relationship with Jesus, he would live in heaven forever. And Jesus came to pay for our sins, to die for our sins, and to give us eternal life in heaven with God. That means that, we talked about this the other day, about how our body, our physical body that you can touch right now, will die. Everyone. But our spirit, the person who lives inside of you, like Miss Watkins, or like Olivia, or Grayson, or Oliver, or Imka, or Harper, that part that lives inside of you that makes you who you are, your spirit living inside of you, that will live forever. And that will get a new body in heaven with God that can't die, that can't get hurt, that can't feel pain. It'll be perfect. And that spirit, that part of who you are, that lives on forever. So this relationship that you build with Jesus here on earth, even though you die, that will never go away. That part will never go away. So even more important than healing you or making you better or making you comfortable in this life or giving you what you want, making life easy for you, even more important than that is you having a relationship with Jesus. You knowing who he is. You loving him and following him and giving your life to him and trying to do things his way instead of your own way. Because that relationship with God, that lives forever. That's the part that after you die will still be there. And that's the part that gets to go live with Jesus forever in heaven if you have a relationship with him. And that's what Jesus really wanted people to know. Yes, he could do miracles. Yes, he could make things better for them right now. He could heal their sicknesses. But he wanted to give them something that was bigger than just this life. He wanted to give them a relationship with him for eternity, forever. So just think about that, guys. Bye. Okay, so for phonics today, we're just going to go over a few of the special sounds that we've been learning, just as a review so that we can make sure that you guys don't forget them because there are quite a few of them. So our first one is going to be, our first special sound will be E-R. As in the word verse here, ER says ER. ER says ER. All right, so let's look at the word serve. S-E-R-V-E. Remember, a special sound is going to do something a little bit differently than you think. So you're just kind of memorize what they are and learn to recognize them in a word. So if I were looking at this word, I would see the right in the middle. And I would know that this is serve. A lot of times you will see ER at the end of a word, and that's a lot easier. On a couple of adult lists back, we had like sister, brother, mother, father. Those all have ER at the end of the word. So let's take the word brother. Brother actually has quite a few special sounds in it. So remember, we talked about when you know your special sounds, it makes it easier to read big words. Sorry, the writing's a little bit crooked, but so if I look at this word brother, I actually have the special sound BR, which is bruh. Then I have the special sound TH, which is the, sometimes the, but this time it'll be the. And then I have my ER special sound, brother, brother. So ER says okay? All right, this one I noticed quite a few of us were still getting a little confused with. So just kind of pay attention to it We had this on an oral evaluation the other day with the SH in it, and a lot of people were kind of forgetting what SH says. So SH, when it is a special sound, the S and the H will stay together, and it will say shh, shh. So it doesn't say s-huh, s-huh. It doesn't do that. This is really what we might call a digraph, which means when that S and that H are together, remember we talked about a long time ago, they stay stuck together, and they're like best friends, and they can't pull apart. So when they stay stuck together, they actually make their own sound. Instead of saying s and or s and huh, they actually make the sound shh, because now that they're stuck together, they make a new sound. So every time you see the letters S and H together, they will make the sound shh, as in ship, ship. So let's look at the word. All right, I have one vowel. Sorry, this is kind of a crazy H over here. I have one vowel, and then I see my special sound shh at the end. One vowel means that's going to be short. Can't really see my red marker from there, so I can write that darker. So now I have the word push, push, shh. Now let's look at this one's actually a little bit easier because the vowel does what you would think it would do. But now I have my special sound at the beginning of the word. So here's my special sound. Shh, shh, shh. One vowel. My one vowel rule says that the vowel's going to say its short sound because there's one vowel, which is the O, so that'd be ah. Shop, shop, shop. So the special sound, SH, when it's stuck together like that, is going to say shh. All right, so for my next special sound, sometimes you guys get these a little bit confused. The first one was SH, but this one is CH, okay? It's just like the SH in that you have a C and an H, and they're stuck together like best friends. So instead of saying k, saying each one of their sounds, well, now they're stuck together as a digraph, so, or a special sound, so it's going to say a new sound. When I put C and H together, they stay stuck together like besties, just like SH does. And so now it's going to say ch, ch. So you can repeat after me. Ch, ch. CH says ch as in church. Ch, ch. Church. All right, my red marker's not showing up very well. Okay, let's try this. So let's try the word, here's an easy word. I have the word C-H-O-P. I see my special sound C-H and one vowel. So that vowel is going to say its short sound. Short O says ah. So now I can read this word. I wouldn't say hop. I would keep the C and H together as a special sound, and it says ch, op, chop, like to chop something. All right, let's try the special sound at the end of the word. That is an H. It looks much straighter on my board than it looks on your screen. Sorry about that. It's R-I-C-H. All right, so there's my special sound, and I know that C-H says ch. So R-I, one vowel. So that vowel is going to say I. So we have rich, rich, rich. Very good. Okay, let's look at just two more. This is one that we've talked about before, AY. If you remember, AY is a special sound that says A. The Y actually doesn't really say anything. When you put AY together as a special sound, it just says A, as in the word pray. And if you look at the word pray, there's actually two special sounds. The PR, pr, and AY says A, pray. So it's actually a faster way to read rather than having to sound out each little letter. We can just sound out our two special sounds and we can read more quickly. Pray. All right, so let's look at the word. This also is a word made up of two special sounds. S-T-A-Y. Well, we remember S-T says st, and A-Y says A. Stay. Another word with the AY special sound in it. This also has two special sounds in it. C-L-A-Y. We know C-L says cl, and A-Y says A-A-A. Clay. All right. And our very last special sound today we have the special sound O-U. O-U says ow, just like O-W. We talked about O-W can say ow. Well, O-U can say ow as well. When O and U stick together, they stay besties and they make a new sound, and that new sound is ow. So here we have the word out. Like she walked out of the door. All right, here's a word with our special sound OU, and it actually has two special sounds in it. S-H-O-U-T. Remember, S-H, we just learned, is a special sound that says shh. And now I know that O-U says ow. So let's put those special sounds together with my t at the end. Shh, out, shh, out, shout, shout. All right, let's look at one more. M-O-U-T-H. And we actually have two special sounds in this word. We have m. We have our special sound O-U that says ow, and our special sound T-H that says th. Mouth. All right, good job, guys. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at your handwriting page for today. It should have like a kind of a little jungle scene up top with a little monkey on it, and then it'll start with the letter X. You will do the front and the back of this. I'm not going to do all of that with you because you can do that, and you don't need to sit and watch me do that. But I will just kind of remind you a little bit about, I'll show you how to do the top line and just remind you about a few things that we need to be making sure that we work on when we do handwriting, okay? So let me remind you how to make an X. You'll start on the red dot at the very top of the blue line. You're going to cross over at an angle and stop at the red carpet. Then you're going to pick your pencil back up, go back up to the top and cross over the other way and stop at the red carpet. We're not going under the red carpet. Your lowercase x will be the same thing, except it's going to stay downstairs under your little dotted line. Okay? So start at the little dot, and you'll go down and stop at the red carpet. Pick your pencil up, go back up to the top, and go down and stop at the red carpet. And then where you see the red dots here and the red dots here, you're going to make your capital X and then your lowercase x. start on this dot and make a capital X, and then come to the little dot and make a lowercase x, making sure that we do not go under the red carpet because an X does not go down into the basement. All right, and we will go back up to the top of this red dot to do your capital X because it starts up at the blue line. You'll go down to the red carpet, pick your pencil back up, go back up to the top where the blue line is, and go across to the red carpet. We're not going under the red carpet because our X does not go down into the basement. Here's your dotted line again. You should be able to see it better on your paper. You're going to go to the red dot and you're going to do lowercase x, lowercase x. All right. Now underneath here you have a sentence. Remember, you're going to trace this sentence as neatly as possible because you are then going to copy it on the line below as neatly as possible. You're going to try your very best to make your letters down here look like the letters up here. We notice that this is a sentence because it is a series of words. It starts with the capital letter. It ends with the punctuation mark. In this case, we have a period. Remember that a period means that this is a statement. We're not asking a question. We're not saying, we're not saying, shouting anything or saying anything excited. Hang on just a second, guys. Sorry, I had to turn my Siri off. She just started talking on her own. Okay, so for a capital M, we're going to go to this little red dot that they gave you. We're going to go down and stop at the red carpet. We're going to go back up. We're going to make a stick on this side. And then in. Okay? M to me is one of the hardest letters. All right, for A, you're going to make a circle that's under the dotted line with a stick beside it. And then we remember how to make our lowercase x, making sure that it doesn't go under that red line because none of these letters go down into the basement. Now, there's a space in between because now I have a new word. Lowercase s, A, all of these are under the dotted line. A is a circle with a stick. A T is going to come up a little bit above that dotted line, and then the stick part will go across the dotted line, or the little, the T's bow tie will go across the dotted line. We're going to put another space, then we're going to go over here because this is a new word. There's a space and then a new word. Lowercase I with the dot, and then an N, remember, is a stick. Stop at the red line, pick your pencil back up, and go, there's a hump. Stopping at the red line, making sure nothing goes under the red line, the red carpet. Okay, then there's a space, and then we're going to do the word the. Go up to that red dot and go straight down to the red carpet. Then the bow tie is going to go across that little blue dotted line. The H will go all the way up to the top. On the blue line, it's going to go straight down to the red carpet. If you go under, erase it like I'm doing. Then you're going to go right here and make a little hump. Kind of looks like an N, but the stick is longer. All right, and then we have a lowercase e. It stays under that blue dotted line. It looks like a C, and then you close the gate. There's another space because now we're going to start the next word. Tree, T, R, E, E, and don't forget your period, okay? So when we write the sentence down here, we are going to try to make it look exactly like the sentence that we just traced above, and we're going to try to keep our spaces in between each word. Each word will start with a red dot. Max will start here. Sat in the tree. That will help with your spacing, so use those red dots. So we would go M, A, X. I'm going to erase under here because it got under my red line, so I'm going to erase. And you do the same thing if it goes under the red carpet. All right, Max, space, sat. I'm going to start here at the little red dot. S, A, T. Then I have a space. for the next word, in, I, in is a stick with a hump. Okay, the next word is the, so I'm going to start the on the red dot because that's where my next little word will go. T, H, I'm doing my best to keep my letters straight and not have anything go up over the blue line where it doesn't go or under the red carpet. Okay, and then my last word is tree. T, R, E, E, and don't forget your period. Okay? Now, I won't do all of this for you. You can do this, but you're going to do the same thing. You're going to trace the sentence and then write the sentence below, doing your very best to make sure that your sentence down here looks exactly like the one before it. So see, we'll start on this red dot, him on this red dot, fix on this red dot, his on this red dot, and lunch on this red dot, and then don't forget your period at the back. All right, thank you. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and pull out this paper. It should have a picture of like a little mouse trap on it, a star, a bathtub, and the directions say to circle the special sounds and mark the vowels, and then read the word. Then you're going to match the picture to the name. Okay, so they give us an example here. They've circled the special sounds. And then we'll have to figure out which one of these words matches the picture. And we'll circle that word. Okay, so I'm going to do it in black because it's just easier to see. So our first word, we would circle STR. That's a special sound. And then we would mark that A with the short symbol because there's only one vowel. And I'm going to read that word, strap, strap. Okay? My second word, I see my TR. I know that's a special sound, so I'm going to circle it. And I see one vowel, which is an A. So I'm going to mark that with the short symbol. Now I'm going to read that word, trap, trap. Now my first word was strap, and my second word was trap. So which one do you think the picture shows? I see a mouse trap, which would be this word. So I'm going to circle that word as being the word that matches the picture. All right, let's look at the next word. The next picture is a picture of a star. You've got two words under here. You should be able to see it a little bit better on your paper. The first one, I see an STAR. You see the special sound? ST. I'm going to circle that special sound, and then I see one vowel. I know if I have one vowel in a word, I'm going to mark it with the short symbol, which is the smile. And now I'm going to read the word star. Okay, good, star. Now I'm going to look at the second word. No special sounds, and there's one vowel. So I will mark it with the smile. I know that's the short symbol. So I know that that A is going to say its short sound. And then we'll read it. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. Actually, AR is a special sound. Excuse me. AR says R. So if I put the K and R together, K-R, that's car. So here I had star. Excuse me, I mismarked that. It should have star, both are special sounds, star and car. So which one of these words matches the picture? The star. So we're going to circle the word star. And I'll give you a second to kind of erase that and do that again since I messed it up a little. I'm sorry. Hope you guys can see that okay. Okay, let's move to this picture. I've got two words. Let's go ahead and mark the special sounds and mark the vowels and then read them. Okay. My first word doesn't have any special sounds, but I see one vowel, so I'm going to mark it with the smile. My second word doesn't have any special sounds, but I do see two vowels. So the two vowel rule says the first vowel says it's long sound and the second one says nothing. So I'm going to mark that. Now let's go back and read them and figure out which one actually matches the picture. So here I have the short sign, one vowel. So this would be tub, tub. And this one, this U says it's long sound. So this would be tube, tube. So is it a tub or is it a tube? That's right, it's a tub. It's a picture of a tub. So we're going to circle tub. All right, let's go down to this picture right here. I've got two words. Let's start with the first word. I see a special sound. It's been a while since we've gone over this one. It's T-H-R, which says thr, 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 as in like the number 3. So I'm going to circle T-H-R, which is thr. Now I see two vowels. So the two vowel rule, the O and the E, two vowel rule says the first one will say it's long sound and the second one stays silent. So I'm going to put a slash through it. Now let's go over to this word. I see the same special sound, T-H-R, thr. So I'm going to circle it. Two vowels, there's two E's. The first one will say it's long sound and the second one will say nothing. So I will mark it that way. Now let's go back and read them and figure out which one matches the picture. Throne, because there's the long O sound. Throne, throne, throne. Yes, that's the picture of a throne, like a king sits on. So this is the correct one. So we are going to circle throne. And since we already know that, we don't really have to read this one. Okay, let's move over here. I see a picture of a game, like a board game. All right, let's look at the first word. The letters are G-A-M-E. I don't see any special sounds, but I do see two vowels, an A and an E. The two vowel rule says the first vowel says it's long sound and the second vowel says nothing, is silent, so we're going to slash it. All right, and then this word beside it, it also does not have any special sounds, but I do see two vowels, an A and an E. So the A, first vowel says it's long sound, second vowel says nothing, so we'll slash it. Put a slash across it. Now let's read them and figure out which one matches the picture. G-A, because that's a long A, g-aim, game, or g-ate, gate. Game, gate. All right, so this is a picture of a game. So our first word would match that picture. So we're going to circle it. Okay, up here I have a picture of rain. I have two words. Let's see if we can find any special sounds. In the first word, I see a special sound. Do you see it? That's right, A-Y, which says A. So I'm going to circle A-Y. Now let's look over at the second word. Do you see a special sound? I do. A-I, which says A. A-Y and A-I both say A. Okay? So now let's read them. The first one is ray, ray. And the second one is rain, rain. So which one matches the picture? First word or second word? That's right, the second word. So I'm going to circle the word rain. All right, let's go down to the bottom. This is a picture of a wig. I have two words. The first word, I have no special sounds, and I have one vowel. So I'm going to mark it. I know that that I is going to say it's short sound because the one vowel rule says that if a word has one vowel in it, then the vowel will usually say it's short sound. Okay, second word, No special sounds. And I see one vowel. So what do you think I'm going to do to it? Mark it with a smile. And that E is going to say its short sound. Okay, let's read the first word. Wig, 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 or web, web. All right, do you think it's wig or web? That's right, it's wig, so we're going to circle wig. All right, let's look here. He is having a dream, dream. All right, so we've got two words. Let's look at this first word. Do you see any special sounds that we can circle? That's right, I see DR, dr, dr. So I'm going to circle that. And then I see one vowel, which is the I. I'm going to mark it with a smile because it will say its short sound, I. All right, let's look at the second word. Do you see any special sounds? Okay, DR says dr. And now I have two vowels, an E and an A. First one says it's long sound, the second one says nothing. Now let's read both words and see if we can figure out which one matches the picture. All right, our first word, drip, drip, drip. Okay, and our second word, remember that's a long E, dream, dream. Okay, which one matches the picture? Drip or dream? That's right, dream. So we're going to circle dream. All right, and our last one. Circle the special sound CL, 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 cl. I have one vowel, I'll mark it with a short sound, ah, ah, ah. All right, same thing over here. I see special sound CL, 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 so I'm going to circle it. And I'll mark that I with a short sound, I. Now let's read it and figure out which one matches the picture. Clap, clap, or clip, clip. All right, the answer would be clip, like a paper clip. So you would circle that. Okay, erase the board. All right, the directions on the top part of the back here says you are going to be given a picture and you're going to figure out what special sound that picture starts with, and then you're going to mark all the words that start with the same special sound. So if you look up here, I have a picture of a swing, swing, which starts with swing. So I have three words, swim, spin, and bet. Which one of these words do you think starts with the same special sound as swing, swing? Swim, spin, or bet? That's right, it would be swim. Swing starts with an SW, and swim starts with an SW. Okay? Our second picture is a picture of bread. Bread. I hear brr, brr, bread. I have the word bat, trip, or brick, brick. So which one do you think starts with the same beginning sound as the word bread, bread? Bat, trip, or brick? Good, brick. It starts with burr, B-R, and bread starts with B-R, burr. Okay, our next picture is a picture of a slide. What special sound do you hear at the beginning of the word slide? Slide, sl. All right, now let's figure out which one of these words starts with the same special sound as slide. Slip, play or stem? What do you think? I hear sl, which would be SL. That's right, slip. All right. This very last picture took me a second. I had to figure out what it was. Okay, this is a picture of snow. Snow. When I say snow, what special sound do you hear at the beginning of snow? Snow. I hear sn, which is an SN. So which of these words also starts with sn, just like snow? Is it skin, snail, or sat? Good, it is snail. Snail and snow both start with sn. Okay? Now down on this section, just like we've done before, you have two words over here. You're going to figure out what those words are, and you're going to figure out which word fits in which sentence, belongs in that sentence. So let's look way over here at this first word. I don't see any special sounds, but I do see two vowels. So the two vowel rule says that the first vowel, which is the A, is going to say it's a long sound. And the second vowel says nothing. And I'm going to read that word. Ache. Cake. Okay, so our first word is cake. Now let's look at the second word down here. No special sounds, one vowel. So I know that my one vowel rule says that vowel's going to say it's short sound. So I have the word ham, ham. So I have the word cake and I have the word ham. Now I have to figure out which sentence that those words fit in. All right, so let's read the first sentence. All right, I see a special sound, th, and one vowel. Seth. All right, two vowels, A and E. That means that A is going to say its long sound. Ate, Seth ate, and then this is, you can sound it out, but this is one of our Dolch words, the. Seth ate the blank, and that's another Dolch word or side word. Sam ate the blank and two vowels, peas. All right, so here's what you have to think. Yes, you can eat cake and you can eat ham, but which one of those is going to go with peas? Do you think we would eat cake and peas, or do you think we would eat ham and peas? Yeah, so I'm thinking ham. So we would write ham in the blank. All right? Now, even though there's only two words, so you already know what goes there, let's try to read this sentence together, though. TH says the, and one vowel, the, N, then, he, and then you already know this word, ate, the, so then he ate the cake. C-A-K-E. Cake. All right, and that is all of your phonics assignments. All right, guys, so for math today, we don't have any math papers. I just want you to practice, keep practicing your addition cards, because now we've moved on to subtraction. So we really want to make sure that you've got those addition facts down. So keep practicing those with mom and dad. I want you to also start on your subtraction, making some little flashcards and practicing your subtraction with mom and dad. I would recommend probably doing your 1s, 2s, and 3s. and getting really good at those subtraction problems, and then we'll move on to something else. So practice your addition and practice your ones, twos, and threes. So real quick, I'm just going to review a little bit of time for you, a little bit of the clock, okay? And then you'll work on your addition and subtraction facts in your B book. All right, let me grab my clock real quick. All right, so remember we've got a shorthand and we have a longhand. Remember the shorthand tells your hour, the longhand tells your minutes. We have only learned, on your minute hand, we've only learned o'clock, 15, and 30. O'clock, 15, and 30. When you read time, you will always read the hour first, and then you will read the minutes. So let's make this easy first. I would read my hour hand, my shorthand first. It says 11, and then my minute hand is pointed up to the 12, which means o'clock. So I would say 11 o'clock. What if I moved my long hand over here to the 3? Well, I would read my hour hand first. I see that it's between the 11 and the 12, right? So since it has not gotten to the 12 yet, it's still right here, it would be 11. If it's between, but it hasn't gotten to that next number yet, you're going to read this one, 11. And remember that the long hand pointed to the 3 means 15. 11, 15.